Good afternoon. I'm Abdulkareem Kرايتس. I'm an American. I converted to Islam in 1975, and for the last 50 years I've been living and working in India toward the revival of Islamic and Indian arts and crafts. I've now come to Saudi Arabia to speak today about our work on the calligraphy panels and the mimbar at the Masjid al-Haram in Makkah Sharif. It was a great honor for us to be invited to do that work. For the last 50 years, we have been working hard to revive traditional arts and crafts, ranging from Morocco to Malaysia. I think it's an important thing to do because there are so many craftsmen, Islamic craftsmen, Muslims from all parts of the Islamic world, who can reach back to the very beginning of Islamic art and culture, to the 7th century, 17 centuries ago. They connect us to the beginning of Islam. And if we can give them work and keep these precious traditions alive, this is very important. I'm here in Saudi Arabia not only to speak about our work at the Masjid al-Haram, but I'm also senior cultural advisor to the Saudi Handicrafts program and its partnership with Turquoise Mountain from Kabul, Afghanistan. I'm advising on this project, and I've been part of it from the beginning. It's a very, I must say, it's a very impressive program. In the beginning, I was very skeptical. They asked me to come and work, and I said, I'm happy to come and advise, but do they have any handicrafts? What do they have? Because no one knows what you have in the kingdom. It's really a secret in a way. So I said, yes, I'll come. And to my surprise and to my delight, we found a rich handicraft tradition from the north to the south, from the east to the west. Not only did we find a wide range of crafts and handicraft and artistic traditions, but we also found masters. Women, men, who still practice with great skill, great masters, because without great masters, you cannot pass on the tradition. These are the people who will pass the tradition on to the next generation. So we found great masters. We found many traditions, many arts and crafts. Then we started looking for raw materials. We looked for gypsum. We looked for stones. We looked for wood. We looked for minerals. We found all these. Saudi Arabia is very rich in the raw materials that they possess. Then we began to look at designs. Because if you ask the craftsmen to make things, you want to make sure there's a market. So they have to make things that the world wants. They have to be globally interesting products. So we are now working with designers from all over the world who are designing things for the project. And one of the most exciting areas, I feel, is the work that we're doing in Asir. Asir, I went in November, and it was an enormous surprise. We found wonderful wall painting, a tradition that's still alive, and done by women. Now, this is a big surprise for all of us, because I did not expect the women to be doing it, and I did not expect the rich colors, the abstraction of the painting. It's very traditional, but it's also very modern. And it will have an appeal, it has a contemporary feel to it. Already, I think they've shown a big painting in the United Nations in New York, which was very well received. So we're now working to develop a range of gifts and a range of products based on the Asir painting style, which is very exciting. I think if we get it right, it will change the lives of hundreds of women, and it will make the world sit up and notice that there is this very great tradition of wall painting in Saudi Arabia that none of us knew anything about. I think the whole project is very exciting. I've been working in these kind of projects for the last 50 years. I think that this project has more potential than any other project I've ever seen. Now, that's for several reasons. One is it has a contemporary abstract look that will appeal to the global market. It's not rooted, it's rooted in tradition, but it has a contemporary modern look to it. Secondly, no one knew anything about it. So it's exciting. Everybody likes to find something new, a culture, a style that they didn't know about. Third, you're bringing women into the equation. Women, very exciting, because in these days, the image of Islam is going through a very trying, difficult time. We want to show positive things about Islam, and especially about women. So I think that this is a really exciting project, and I wish the Saudi Handicraft program really a lot of success, because I think you're on the verge of something very exciting. I came in December, early December, to give a talk about artisans, using artisans and craftsmen in architectural projects, and I gave that talk at the Qasim conference. It was organized by the Saudi Commission for National Heritage and Tourism. It was a big success to me and a surprise. There were people from all over the world who were interested in similar subjects. I had never heard of Qasim. You see, we don't know. People from outside, we know Jeddah, Riyadh, Mecca, Medina. We know 4 cities. I never heard of Qasim. So I Googled Qasim. I went to Wikipedia. I Googled. What did it say? Qasim is a very interesting city in the north of Saudi Arabia. It is the most conservative town in the whole country. I thought to myself, the most conservative town in the whole country. What can it be like? I really was curious to come. I went. I found the people warm. I found the culture very alive. We visited date palms. We visited mud brick villages. We visited the sites where great poets recited their poetry. Antara, I think. Antara, great poet, a great Saudi poet from the pre-Islamic times. We traveled. I found it a very dynamic and interesting place, and very creative in the crafts, the arts and crafts side. And I remember I went to the date market, and because Qasim dates were evidently very famous, I bought a lot of dates, took them back to India where I live. So I thought that conference was very successful, and you brought together craftsmen of all types. There were women, there were men, there were wood carvers, there were sedu weavers, there was so many people, and I think that these kind of projects really have an impact on society, and I really enjoyed coming. For the last 50 years, I've been working with calligraphers across the Islamic world: Morocco, Malaysia, Turkey, Iran, Uzbekistan, Afghanistan, India. And the calligraphy is alive and well in the Islamic world. But this is the home of Islam. And I was very curious to see the state of calligraphy here. And at the Qasim conference, I met 3 or 4 calligraphers that were absolutely superb, excellent, and very creative. They were creating new styles of scripts, new fonts, some used for advertising, some used for books and manuscripts. I think it's very exciting. Some very modern, some extremely contemporary, but still keeping in touch with the tradition. It appears that calligraphy is alive and well in Saudi Arabia, which I think is very important. I've worked in India for 50 years, and in 2008 we were given the responsibility and the honor to execute the calligraphy panels for the Al-Shamia extension of the Masjid al-Haram. First of all, I want to take this opportunity to thank the custodian of the 2 holy mosques and the people of Saudi Arabia for this opportunity and this great honor. We've been working since 2008. We hope to finish the project this year. It's an enormous project. We have 700 people working. There's 1,318 panels, 2,600 square meters of calligraphy. If you put all of the panels together, one in line, end to end, it comes to 3.5 kilometers in length. It is the largest calligraphy project ever done in a mosque in the history of Islamic architecture, ever. It's a remarkable achievement. But more important is that it has affected the lives of 700 stone carvers and inlay artisans and their families. It has improved their lives. It has made their lives better. They now educate their children. They have built better homes. They can afford better medical treatment. They are now passing on the tradition to their children and to other students, because they now believe that there is work for them. Now, you have craftsmen all across the Islamic world, from Morocco to Malaysia, from China to the tip of South Africa. There are Muslim artists and artisans working everywhere. We have to give them work. When I give a talk, often I tell people, why don't you, next time you decorate your home or your office, why don't you put in 10% decoration done by hand, done by local craftsmen? Just 10%. And then you encourage your government and your hotels and museums and other projects to use traditional craftsmanship. This way you will keep it alive, you will keep the traditions alive, and you have to remember that this is 2016, but it is connecting us to the 7th century. It's connecting us 1,700 years ago to the very beginning of Islamic art and culture. And we don't want to lose those roots. These people are very special. These great masters are very special, endangered. They're almost like the tiger. The tiger is endangered. We're about to lose the tiger. We don't want to lose these great craftsmen. We need to keep them alive and give them work. You know, they don't want to receive money, just a handout. They want work. So we have to find ways to give them work. And that's what my life for the last 50 years has been about. And this project for the Masjid al-Haram, it was really a great responsibility and a great honor. And I think that we've done a very beautiful job. It's white marble. The panels are made of white marble, inlaid with lapis lazuli, a dark blue precious stone from Afghanistan. It's an enormous project, and we hope to finish by the end of this year. We had done a project earlier for the Masjid al-Haram. It was the movable marble minbar. The minbar is kept at the side of the Masjid al-Haram, and on Friday prayers it rolls out, and the Imam delivers his Friday sermon from the minbar. It's a wonderful combination of 21st century German technology and 17th century Indian craftsmanship. It's air conditioned. It has a speaker system. It has a screen where the Imam can deliver the sermon. It's a wonderful work of art, and that project employed 300 people, 300 craftsmen. So the Minbar project, 300 craftsmen. The calligraphy project, 700. That's 1,000 craftsmen have been given work for a number of years from this one project. And again, I think the people of Saudi Arabia should be very proud of this. You've changed the lives of so many people, and my craftsmen believe that the barakat, the blessing that comes from working on this project is very important to them. They're all Muslims. All of them are Muslims. Last year, some of the panels are up on the walls now. Some of my craftsmen came on Hajj. They called me from there and they said, "Sir, we are praying in the Masjid al-Haram." I said, "That's wonderful. I'm so happy." They said, No. We are not just praying. We are praying under our panels, under the panels we made. The panels we made it with our hands. That's where we decided to pray. So it's a wonderful, wonderful thing you've done. I think you should all be very proud. The calligraphy project for the Masjid al-Haram has been, as I said, a great honor, but it's also an emotional experience. I mean, it's the most important mosque and the most sacred mosque in the Islamic world. The responsibility is very great to give the most beautiful, beautiful quality that we can. And the craftsmen often tell me, they said, "Sir, it's from our hands, from the hand of man, for God, the all-seeing, Al-Basir." They said, "We'll make it and it will be seen. It will be seen." And it's very important. They feel that. They feel it. And it's changed. I mean, I've been a Muslim since 1975, but this experience, it changes you. It makes you think about the truths of Islam and the depth of Islamic religion and culture. And it's been a personal journey and a personal creative adventure for me, which I don't think can ever be repeated, because this is really the height of, I'm not a young man anymore, and I don't know how many more projects I can do, but this has been the most important project, and I'm most proud of this project in my whole life. I think the development of handicrafts and giving work to craftsmen is very important. It can revive whole sectors of the economy. It can have a very major impact on craftsmen. There are hundreds of thousands of Muslim craftsmen across the Islamic world, and they need work. You know, they need products, they need markets. Now we can use e-commerce sites. We can use, governments can get involved, private shop owners can get involved. I think it's very important. I feel that we as Muslims have a responsibility to make sure that these people find work. Otherwise, they will disappear. And when they disappear, they take with them traditions of craftsmanship and techniques, secrets that go with them, and we will never find them again. Now in Saudi Arabia, the Saudi Handicraft program, I think is very exciting, because it's trying to put in touch the Saudi craftsmen with international markets, to teach them about quality control, delivering products on time, understanding what the world market wants, but also we're trying to make sure that they keep in touch with their traditions. Authenticity. We don't want to lose the authentic Saudi look. I think there's a Saudi DNA. You have your own Saudi DNA. It's a design style that no one else has. And we're trying to discover that Saudi DNA. It's in geometry, it's in abstraction, it's in unusual colors that are made from the stones of the mountains of Asir. The women go out and they take the stones and they grind the stones, and they make pigment and paint from the stones. So I think that we have a responsibility to everyone. The problem is, I've seen over the years, some people come and they try to revive these things, but it's a struggle to revive. We don't want to raise the level of expectations of the craftsmen. We don't want to say, we're going to find you markets, we're going to make you successful, if we cannot perform. We have to perform. We have a responsibility to them. And I think that Prince Sultan bin Salman and the whole project is dedicated to finding markets. The prince has said he wants results. He just doesn't want exhibitions and nice conferences. Today is a wonderful conference, but he wants results. He wants results that change the lives of craftsmen, and that's what my whole life has been about that. So, and I think here in Saudi Arabia we have a real chance to make a real difference to thousands of craftsmen, men, women, boys, and girls who want to learn also. And I think we have a very good chance of international success. I think what is important is now to develop a Saudi brand, a kind of identifiable Saudi style that the whole world will recognize. Now, we can do that in many ways. We can do it through promotional campaigns. We can do it exhibitions in, for example, Turquoise Mountain, which is working in Afghanistan. They now have a big exhibition at the Smithsonian Museum in Washington, D.C., one of the most important museums in the world. And it's been a tremendous success. People from all over the United States are going to visit it. Afghan style has become more known. But I think that we need to first of all identify what is the Saudi style, what is Saudi DNA in design, what is the Saudi brand. We need to develop it in many materials, in wood, in palm weaving, in sedu, in wall painting, in calligraphy. We need to identify this brand, and then we need to market it. There are international conferences, there are international bazaars, international fairs. Saudi needs to go there. They need to put up a stand, and they need to show that this is Saudi style. It's different from anybody else, and we're proud of it, and we want to market it. And I think the world will respond, because it's a dynamic look. It's modern. It's contemporary. It's colorful. It's abstract. It's exactly what should appeal to the international market. I think we covered almost everything. You know, the mosque and the prince wanted me to talk about the authenticity, and he wanted to talk about that I believe that it's a really important project. I think I covered almost everything.